Michelle, and I'm the president and CEO of the Zeiterion. And this couldn't be a bigger day, and I'm so excited to see you all here and to join us in this celebration. I'd like to introduce lots of people, but this morning what we're going to do is we're going to say a few words up here, cut the ribbon, and then we're going to transition into the main auditorium. And yes, and I promise you will be wowed. Be sure to look up. It's amazing.
I think that was up there.
Yeah. So stick with us. We'll then do a speaking program in the auditorium, and we'll come back here for refreshments. And then we're going to open the building so that folks can tour around and see all of our new lovely spaces. So thank you. And I'd like to introduce Mayor John Mitchell.
All right. This is so cool. This is all I've seen so far. So just I probably just about everybody here. So I can't wait. There's a speaking program to follow in a second, and there are a lot of people up here who's played big roles in all of this. A lot of people in the audience, a lot of people not here. Our Lieutenant Governor was a major contributor to this. The Healy Driscoll administration was a big contributor to this. She has to split. I'm glad she's here. But this was an enormous, as we'll talk about in a moment, in the theater. This was an enormously successful collaborative effort between government and a whole lot of private actors. And there's a lot to celebrate here. But I wanted to make sure that the Lieutenant Governor got her due because she and the Healy administration generally anteed up. So without any further ado, my friend, Lieutenant Governor Tim Driscoll.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to say something now. Unfortunately, I do have to get back to Boston, but I did not want to miss what is really an incredible day, both for the Zeiterion, for the community of New Bedford, and frankly, for the region. I am really grateful to be here with you, Mayor. I'm a former mayor. Mayors unite. We try to get stuff done every day, and you've got a great mayor here in New Bedford. So thank you, John, for the welcome. I also want, absolutely. I know there's a lot of elected officials here, and that's because this really is a team sport. It's great to see Congressman Keating, Chairman Antonio Cabral, Representative Chris Hendricks, Representative Willette, Representative Sylvia. You've got representatives who don't even represent New Bedford here, and so many members of the New Bedford City Council. And I think it speaks to the importance of this as an institution. You know, there are certain buildings that you have an emotional connection to as a community, and I think the Z is one of those. And so, for over a century, this place is where people went for their first date or saw their school daughter's performance, or a place that really benefited the community and the region. And to see it 100 plus years later in this new space, this rebirth, this opportunity to celebrate what is amazing about New Bedford, the art, the culture, the storytelling. And going back over 100 years, there were vaudeville shows, and now we're going to have new artists and creative makers and immigrant voices really helping lead the way. There's something special about that commitment to community and to particularly the creative economy. As an administration, we really feel like this is an opportunity to uplift and uphold these sacred cultural spaces, especially the ones that are so historic and have these emotional connections to community. And when the city stepped up and made major contributions, and this woman right here twisted arms. They weren't that hard to twist because this place is beloved. Her enthusiasm and passion and just commitment and stick-to-itiveness to get this done made sure that everyone felt like they were a part of something special. So if the city was in and so many private stakeholders and philanthropists were in, the state was going to be in. We were proud to be able to provide $4 million towards the project and also support and uplift the creative economy in general through live theater tax credits. You know, it is such a blessing. We all knew during COVID what we missed to be able to come together and gather, but these are also big economic boosters. 75% of people who go to a live show go out to eat before or after. So as we see these new investments and how awesome they are here, and the shows and the performances and the future first dates and opportunities to do fun things in this building, know that it's also contributing to a revitalized downtown. And New Bedford is on the map. It always has been. It's a city that was always on the move and looking to reinvent itself. But at the heart of it has been a lot of creatives. And this space is going to be a homecoming for them, for sure. With that, I want to say congratulations to everyone who's made it happen. I think we've got a full lobby, and it just showcases how many people are dedicated to seeing this space really come alive. And so many of us, I think, are looking forward to getting inside. But I didn't want to commemorate what I think is a really historic milestone, the community's reinvestment in a creative space that's going to serve us for the next generation, and wanted to present this governor's citation to the Zeiterion Theater on behalf of the residents of the Commonwealth. I'm pleased to confer upon you the citation to the Z, as we fondly call this place. After opening its doors in 1923 and originally being built as a vaudeville and movie place, this historic theater has evolved into a vital regional arts institution, presenting nationally recognized performances and supporting arts education. As you celebrate this milestone, we wish you continued success and growth in your commitment to the arts and downtown revitalization in New Bedford, and it's signed by both Governor Billy and myself. Congratulations. And with that, get on with the show.
We're gonna cut the ribbon. Let's cut the ribbon. Where are the scissors?
All right. Okay, before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge this land we occupy today. The Wampanoag people used this riverfront land for thousands of years prior to colonization. The Zeiterion honors the Wampanoag community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. We encourage you to visit the Wampanoag Nation Singers and Dancers website, where you can learn more on how to support one group of local Indigenous artists keeping this history and culture alive. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, but here we go. Okay, I have lots of people to thank, so we'll do that right out of the gate. Thank you, Congressman Lionel Keating, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll.
She's dope.
She just left? Okay. Thank you anyway. Senator Montigny was supposed to be here today, and he sends his regrets that he was under the weather. Chairman Antonio Cabral, Representative Chris Hendricks, Representative Christopher Markey, Representative Steve Willett, and we also have Mark Sylvia, yes, Representative Mark Sylvia here, and so many more. I'd also like to thank Mayor Mitchell, Christina Connolly, where are you, Christina? and children. Neil Mello and the many city departments for their unwavering commitment to the Zeiterion. Thank you to the New Bedford City Councilors, Ian Abreu, Shane Burgo, Ryan Pereira, and I think Derek Baptiste is here, yes, and Naomi is also here. Naomi Carney, thank you so much. Also, I need to thank our donors, our volunteers, the residents of New Bedford. Yes, especially our downtown neighbors who endured a little bit of inconvenience during this construction. The staff, board, and committees of the Z, our resident companies, New Bedford Festival Theater and New Bedford Symphony Orchestra. "19 months ago, we gathered here to break ground on a journey. We couldn't have imagined the twists and turns and unexpected surprises. Some welcome, some not so much. Here we are about to unveil the new Zeiterion and usher it into the next 100 years. To steward this important civic asset through a restoration and renovation of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We stand on the shoulders of so many before us, the Zeitz family, Sarah Delano, John Bullard, and countless others. It's an emotional day for me, and I would imagine for many others. We conceived this project 10 years ago. Now that it's a reality, I am overcome with joy. Okay, now I lost my place.
Okay.
For all we've accomplished through the pandemic, cost escalations, securing funding that includes federal and state historic tax credits, municipal and state funding, and private philanthropy. We had exceptional partners along the way that were as dedicated to this project as we were. I'm especially grateful for the expertise and attention brought to this project by our architects at Wilson Butler. Where's Rebecca and Chris? Thank you so much. Our P3 folks, Dan and Rebecca. Our general contractor, all of you, Jake. Holy moly. Just can't you. It's a proud day for New Bedford. We continued the partnership with Waterfront Historic Area League that was started back in 1982 when they spearheaded the rescue of this building. Whale was instrumental back then, and their guidance was essential in navigating the high standards that this historic project required and deserved. Our resident companies, New Bedford Festival Theater and New Bedford Symphony Orchestra, offered a great deal of support under the leadership of Liz Betancourt and Dave Prentice. Okay, here we go. I'd also like to thank this incredible staff and board, and particularly Nicole Marucci. She was a hero. Frank Almeida and our board chair. Deborah Baker and Joe Nauman. They exemplified tenacity and a can-do spirit. They brought their skill sets that sustained this project through all of its endless challenges. We never played it safe. As I've been known to say, no guts, no glory. They had big shoes to fill after the visionaries who restored the building in the 80s. They did just that, and with grace and humor that frankly humbled me. All while fulfilling the other responsibilities of moving our mission forward, and for that, we owe them all a debt of gratitude. Together, we have all preserved history and transformed this 100-year-old theater into a stunning state-of-the-art facility. It belongs to us, and all are welcome here. Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up the Honorable Mayor John Mitchell.
All right, mind if I adjust this from my, I can't do them. Well, so I, like especially most of the folks here, am thrilled at what I have beheld. I treated this kind of like, you invited so many people to come in, Rosemary, over the last few months, lots of donors, lots of other people had a stake in all this, and I held off. And I held off like a groom on his wedding day, as I once was, which was to say, I don't want to see the lead up, I want to see it when we're ready to go. And now that I've seen it, all I can say is, wow, this is fantastic. And I'm so proud of the work that so many people who are here, who are not here, have done. And there are lots of thanks to offer, and I'll offer some, and I acknowledge immediately that my thanks will be incomplete because this was more than just a team effort. It was a full court, complete, comprehensive effort by literally thousands of people. But more than anybody else, our gratitude should be directed to none other than the woman you just heard speak, Rosemary Gill. This is it took a lot of work, and she explained this just didn't happen in the last 19 months. That's when the construction period was. The lead up to this was years, many years in the making, a full decade. And the level of stick-to-itiveness, the vision, the toughness to work through so many complications here. This is not easy stuff. It looks great when it's done. When you cut the ribbon and say, okay, take a look at this. It's all good. We celebrate as we appropriately should, but it's a lot of hard work. And so to her, and to the chairman of the board, Frank Almeida, and all the board chairs and board members who preceded him, and all the board members, and just you guys deserve a tremendous amount of thanks for what you have made possible for our city, for Greater New Bedford generally, and for people beyond. It is something everybody can be proud of, but especially you. So I wanted to start most emphatically with that thanks. There are a few others. I want to just offer a couple of thanks with some insight, hopefully offer up some insight into why certain folks are relevant. Again, a lot of folks who deserve to be standing up here, and that's just not realistic, right? But so this happened because a lot of private sector folks stepped up. I want to thank, I couldn't be here today. I think they would have stolen the show anyway, but Taya Leone and Jenny Slate two actresses of some acclaim who have local connections help their reputations out in the association with this project. And so that certainly helped raise money, and we want to thank all of them, both of them for that. I want to thank all the donors because there are so many of them who stepped up and gave out of their own pockets. I mean, we in government are happy to stroke a check, right? And it's like we do that with responsibility, and for everybody in public office, we should be spending it like our own money. But these people actually spent their own money, and so I want to thank them for doing that for the public good, for this particular place. There's one donor in particular who stood out to me, someone with a Greek last name. That person is anonymous, and that person in particular, he or she really deserves tremendous credit. I don't know who it is, I'll hasten to add, but that person was very...
You don't know either.
You don't know either, so nobody knows. And identify yourself if you're out there somewhere. And actually don't, no need to do that, but whoever it is... Oh, now we know. We have to...
Good luck.
Thank you, Chris Hendricks. Yes, it didn't come out of his campaign account, but no, we. I do want to thank whoever that is. So that was as I understand it, the largest private donation as part of this. A lot of public support came with this at every level of government. Lots of folks in city government contributed. DFFM under Jen Vieira's leadership, the planning department under Jen Carlone's leadership. Our ARPA guru, Jessica Bailey, lots of other people. I really want to thank Christina Conley for helping understand how we could make ARPA funds available for this project. And it turned out that the first slug of $5 million came in within hours of a deadline that would have made it impossible in the early going. Long story, but I just want to thank Christina for figuring it all out because it really made a big difference. I want to thank our federal delegation. Congressman Keating is here. I want to thank him and Senators Markey and Warren for their support of the American Rescue Plan Act. Yes, it was about COVID, and I'm not sure what the COVID connection is. Maybe come up with a COVID connection. There is, but this was a permissible investment under the ARPA regulations, and one that is, frankly, from our standpoint, leveraging a whole lot of other funds, and so that is really important to note. But it wouldn't have happened if our federal delegation hadn't passed that bill to make these funds available to us on this and many other projects. I want to thank the state delegation for their support, all the Greater New Bedford delegation, as well as Senator Mike Rodrigues. He and I and the Lieutenant Governor met in the former lobby, which looks nothing like the current one. It was almost 2 years ago, right, roughly, to talk about why this theater is important, and I think that certainly helped in the support of our delegation. All of our reps made a big difference. City Council, I want to thank also for their support of the Z. There is ongoing city support here. It's worth every penny. It doesn't come easily to our city. We're not flush with cash, but folks here know that this is an important institution for everybody. So I want to thank that. I want to thank my friend and emeritus, John Bullard, who's spent much of his adult life connected to this particular place and whose enduring support remains important to what we do here. But none of this, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for John Bullard. And Lori Bullard, who just stood up and blew a kiss to her husband. That was her right there, right? Always there. So let me just say a couple things. At the risk of stating the obvious, it has to be said. Why do we do this? Why does this all matter? There are lots of reasons. One is economic development. And you don't need a market study to know why the economic impact of the Z is meaningful to the city. Just try to get a reservation at a restaurant tonight of the Z downtown somewhere. It's hard to get into the place. It fills the restaurants. It supports retail. And look at Katie Lowe right there, the proprietor of Shimmer right down the street. It supports her business, and we should all support her business, including the guys who have to go find last-minute presents for their wives, go to Shimmer. But it does have a huge impact here, which is significant. Secondly, it offers educational opportunities for children who can't get the similar opportunities either in a classroom or even on the internet. Live performances remain relevant in today's world. They are not obsolete. There is a way. There is something about going to the theater that is different from the way that we interact with the world even today in modern society. And so that is something that we should continue to support and embrace and to celebrate. And so having a great place to do it in is so important. And look, the other part of this is that, relatedly, is that it gives everybody an opportunity to connect. This is a place of common experience. The downtown is, but particularly a performing arts center is a place where people can come together and share an experience and thereby connect with other folks that they both saw it at the same time. They both got it. It is a part of them. And so in that way, in a time when people are fractured, when America's fractured in so many ways, more theater is exactly what we need. So I wanted to say thank you for that. That is an artistic experience that we can, in a very artistic city where people appreciate this stuff, money well spent. The last thing I just want to say is this. Cities are built in one sense by the accretion of positive acts over time. People extending themselves, doing something for the common good, and doing it sometimes without regard to their personal interest. You could have a theater. This theater could just have gone on that's right. The seats, you would have found more holes in the seats, and the draperies would have continued to fall, and the paint would have peeled, and nobody would complain. But I could still do quite well. But the fact that this was fixed, and not just fixed, but done in the way it was, reflecting a level of ambitiousness that is validating of the city. It is this. So we did this. The group who advanced this project didn't do good. Didn't say good enough. Let's just do something that's good enough. They wanted to do something great, and by doing something great, they validate not only this institution but the city itself. We aim high, and we know that the benefits, and do something big, and know that those benefits will accrue to people today, but not only people today, but people in the future you've never met, for generations to come. It is something you're doing for the larger public good in a place that certainly needs that kind of affirmation. So for me, it is a reminder that we aim high, when we're ambitious, when we say New Bedford deserves something great, and that we do the hard work it takes, because it's never easy to do really good stuff. It's always hard, but when that happens, it makes our city stronger, not just today, but in the long run. So I want to, again, thank everybody who played a part, who bought into that idea, and who extended themselves and have made a difference, not just today, but in the long run for our great city. Thank you, everybody.
Well, I'm going to leave it up because the next gentleman. Thank you, Mayor. And now I'd like to bring to the podium our Congressman William Keating.
Well, thank you, Rosemary. And I just can't tell you how invigorating it is, how much pleasure I get personally from coming from Washington last night to here this morning. It is a great elixir for someone dealing with this, and at a time in our country when we need events and commitments like this to go forward. A country where the arts and humanities, the National Association of the Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for Humanities are currently zero funded in this president's administration's budget. To coming here and seeing where people came together to move forward in this city, a city that's rich in arts and culture, bringing that history forward. In the history of the movies over time, if there was one that would, I think, typify today, it would be Back to the Future. Because so much of what was great in the past is kept alive here and has been kept alive here moving forward. And it took a lot of work, and I just want to congratulate everyone that was involved in this. It gives you an idea, just from the federal perspective, of the fact that putting money isn't mere spending. It's an example of our values, what we treasure, what's important, but it's also good for our economy. If you look at, the mayor mentioned the rescue plan. Well, New Bedford, between what the federal government gave the county and what we gave the city, was about $82 million there for investment. And the mayor and administration, the city officials here, with the complementary work of our great legislature and the Healy administration, they took those monies and multiplied it. So what amounted to $82 million, with so many other investments here in New Bedford, $6.8 million of that went to this effort. And overall, looking at the $37 million that was there, that was turned into, just with the construction phase and building phase, an economic effect of $43 million. And each year, annually, we'll have an economic effect here of another $12 million annually. That's an investment, not just an expenditure of money. And to do that wisely, this city should be congratulated in understanding not only the economic benefit of this, but the cultural benefit as well. And what a history this has had. I look back at everything that's happened. If there was a building and it didn't have the name of the family that was so much there, they'd maybe call it Lazarus, because it's been resurrected from the dead so many times in its history. It started off so great in the 20s, and the Roaring '20s, with all the prosperity that were there, with the icons of that era as movies went from sound to color, and the Golden Age, the connections with the Hitchcock movies and the family that is named after in part. And the fact that there were discussions that this would be more beneficial as a parking lot, and then it is now. It reminded me of the old lyrics of the Big Yellow Taxi by, I think it's Counting Crows, that's dating myself, the artist that did it. But they said, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Well, because of the tenacity and the foresight of people like John Bullard, who was in power, all the way to Mayor Mitchell today, and everyone in between, they did the reverse. They took what was going to be a parking lot and turned it into a paradise that all of us can enjoy and benefit from. And it was done with the hard work of the people. It was done with the help of Whale. It's doing so much through this whole area to revitalize a great city. And a city that's known not just from its traditions in fishing and its immigrant traditions as well, bringing people in the lifeblood of this city. Is a sterling example of what people from other countries have brought to our great country here. And that's what I'm sure to bring back to Washington as well. Believe me. But what this has done culturally and what's done generationally is so important. This will be a place where people can rekindle the treasured memories of their past, relive them again, and where people that have ideas not yet even contemplated can spin those dreams together culturally right here in this city. So this is really a great day for the city. It's really an indication of where the city's going, where the state is going, and the leadership that we'll give to get our country going back in the right direction as well. But it took individuals and people, and the great people behind this, I'd like to just give recognition to here. And I'll give it to Rosemary Gill, of course, as the person that did so much in this effort. So Rosemary, could you come up and maybe I'll need my glasses since I can recall the lyrics and who did old songs, but I can't read directions still. This is a certificate of special congressional recognition, proudly presented the Zeiterion Theater, Inc., in recognition of your outstanding legacy as a center for the performing arts on the South Coast for over 100 years, and as you unveil your newly renovated and updated facility, it's presented today by myself to you, and congratulations on something that will be a living legacy.
It's really incredible to receive all of these accolades, but I want to point out some of the very important folks who deservedly are here on our stage, which are the Zeiterion staff who are sitting behind us. I think we should stand. Stand if you can. Thank you. Unfortunately, we are missing our senators today, our state senators. Senator Rodrick is out of the country, I believe, and Senator Montigny took ill last night, so he's not here with us today. I haven't seen Audra. Is she here? She's in the back. She's in the back. All right, well, we miss Mark. He's been a tremendous supporter and a staunch champion for this project, as has Senator Rodrick. Okay, next up. Talk about a champion. It is my pleasure to bring up Chairman Antonio Cabral.
Good morning. But if we all say, we did it. We did it. Huh? Let's hear it again. We did it. Well, I'm excited to be here this morning with all of you. Let me begin by thanking, of course, Rosemary for her drive, vision, tenacity, and commitment to make this project, see this project through. Of course, with all the help of the staff and the board. Frank, Almeida, and the entire board, boy, they were tireless advocating for this project. And it's a well worth effort. As Congressman Keating said, this is not an expenditure, this is an investment. Investment in this community, in this city, but for the whole region. We really are. I mean, New Bedford really is, and this institution really is, an economic, cultural, and social anchor and hub of the South Coast. So that's the way we ought to look at it. We as a city, we as the institutions in the city are really hubs for the entire region. And that's how we should think, that's how we should act, this is how we should look to the future on these things. You know, this renovation, it really is transformative. It transforms this historic theater to the state-of-the-art that it deserves to be for today's times and future times. As we all know, the arts have been critically important to the social, cultural, and economic development of our city and our region. The Z is a cultural and education institution, an economic anchor in downtown, in the heart of downtown New Bedford. I am proud, and I think it's important to mention those who are part of this effort, especially in the public sector. Those of us who represent the people, the great people of New Bedford and the surrounding area. The work that we've been doing along with the Z, with the local administration, the mayor, the city council, they made a commitment as well on behalf of the city, right? So it was important for us at the state level, in particular in the legislature. This doesn't happen by miracles or by chance. This happens by us coming together and working and making sure that the resources and the funds that eventually the administration spends are there. And that's what happened in this case. Myself, yes, and along with Senator Montigny and the entire legislative delegation, we are the best in the state, if I might tell you, right? Thank you. When it comes to get state resources, we are committed and we stay in there, we stay in the fight until we think we get what we deserve in this region to make sure this region continues to see progress. All right, so we have here the delegation. Chris is going to speak. We have Steve Willett, we have Mark Sylvia, and Chris Markey was here too. But let me tell you, for Senator Montigny not to be here, he's got to be not feeling well. He was a great partner. And I think it's important. If I wasn't here, you would say the same about us, about the House delegation. He's been a great partner in helping us secure the funding that we secured. And by the way, it's not a small amount. It's $7 million that we worked hard to make sure that the legislature made a commitment. And again, the administration, both the previous and the present administration, made the commitment to put that money into the column of expenditures. So we fought hard and we won, and Senator Montigny was part of that. And it is a two-chamber legislation. So it's important to have a good partner on the Senate side. And you know, Senator Montigny has been tied to the Z for many, many years. He was on the board. He was on the board of the Z also many years ago. So Audra, the best of the senator, and speedy recovery. We need him on the Senate side. The other senator that I think deserves a little credit as well is our partner on the other side of the South Coast, and that's Senator Rodericks. He's not here today, but his staff, some of his staff is here. He was very helpful as well and very instrumental in moving some of these things forward. As you know, he's only the Senate chair of Ways and Means. So. But last night, and I'm taking a little longer than the 2 minutes that they gave me because Senator Montigny is not here, the Lieutenant Governor is not here, so I'm going to take their time. But last night I was at Wamsata Club listening to Mayor Bullard, if I may use that term, talk about his book in his hometown. Right? Fantastic, right?
Still available in store.
See, I was going to give the promo. We already gave the promo. But you know, him telling the story of the day that him and Sarah Delano walked into this building, and it was a disaster. It was about to become a parking lot, as the Congressman mentioned and the Mayor has mentioned as well. And it was that vision and that commitment on the part of Whale, and in particular the leadership of Whale, which was John Bullard at the time, and Sarah Delano, that really we are here today celebrating this new renovation. Right? And to paraphrase Mayor Bullard from last night, well, before I paraphrase him, I want to mention that when he graduated from college, his thing was he wanted to change the world. That was what he said last night. Change the world. He didn't quite change the world, but he made a lot of changes in his hometown. Right? So that's important. If you want the rest of the story, you've got to buy the book. Right? But paraphrase John Bullard from last night's talk. He said something that I think was very, very interesting. Right? People want progress, but sometimes they don't want change. Think about that. Huh? That's powerful. John, that's powerful. Thank you very much for all your efforts and all your involvement here. You know, and I must tell you, there's another person that is not here with us today, but he is celebrating as well, and he's here really in spirit with us, and that's Armin. From the New Bedford Festival Theater. The New Bedford Festival Theater is an important institution housing this at the Z that every summer brings Broadway shows to this community and to this region. And Armin and George is here. George, thank you very much as well. But everybody, if you remember Armin would be jumping, right? You'd be extremely excited about this. So thank you, Armin, also for all his efforts in his commitment to this institution and to this city and to this region. We really appreciate that. So I'm going to end by saying thank you to all of you. Thank you to all the residents of New Bedford also for their commitment. The city, the mayor, and the city council gave that commitment. It was really on behalf of those of us who live in this city, who work hard in this city, and give back to this city every day. So to the residents of New Bedford, thank you for that commitment. And I'm excited again for tomorrow. I can't wait, right? I really can't wait. I'm going to be at 7 o'clock show, and I hope all of you are here. I expect this place to be packed.
We're sold out.
Sold out already? Wow. Sold out. That's what we want. So again, we did it. Right? We did it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair Cabral. We did it, indeed. Okay, and next up to the podium, and I'd like to welcome Representative Chris Hendricks.
The anonymous giver?
Yes, or the anonymous giver. Obviously, I was being facetious about that earlier. I don't want to take credit away from Mr. Anonymous. I will say it's great to be here in the Zeiterion at an event that doesn't involve us wearing a hard hat. For an elected official who has most of his hair, when someone gives you a hard hat, it's like not a good feeling. I think Tony can attest to that. And Mark Montigny, who's not here, probably attest to that too. And the others I can't really speak for. Brian, Derek, they're in good shape. Ian. I've been coming to the Zeiterion Theater since I was a kid. You know, it was the last renovation was in the early 80s. I was born in 83, so I would come here for musical acts for school, a lot of field trips. I must have been on a dozen field trips here over the years, and it's a real special place. And coming here as a kid, we'd see the rips on the wall and the speakers and the seats and in the carpet, and it's really exhilarating to be here with you to celebrate this new theater and what it's going to do to New Bedford. I just want to thank Tony and Mark Montigny for all the work that they did, filing the legislation, filing bond bills, filing earmarks, specifically to get this beautiful theater renovated and looking the way it does today. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it quick. I'll return some of that time that was taken from us by the people who didn't show up. So thank you all. Congratulations to the city council, the mayor, Rosemary Gill, the entire board. And I want to say to Mr. Marchand, who was my English teacher in high school, I've been thinking about him the last, all these articles coming up about the Z. It's just, he's been on my mind a lot. And I just want to say thank you to Armin Marchand and, of course, to George Charbonneau for all the work that they've done in the Z over the years. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Councilman Shane Burgo.
Thank you so much. I first obviously want to thank the Z staff, the board, all the partners that came together for this. And of course, I bring greetings on behalf of the New Bedford City Council. We have a new City Council president, Ryan Pereira. They kicked me right out of there. But he was gracious enough to allow me to speak because he knows how important this day was for me as a city councilor, but also for the Ward 4 Councilor Derek Baptiste that's joined us here, and councilors at large Naomi Carney and Ian Abro. It's a joy to be here, standing in a space that means so much to our city, because this is a city-owned building. I think that's important to note here. It's something I argue all the time on the city council floor when we're looking for funding, and we hope to continue to fund this amazing, amazing asset. So I thank everyone that had their hand in this. For more than a century, the Zeiterion has been part of the heartbeat of New Bedford, since opening its doors in 1923 as a palace for the people. It has been a place where stories were told, voices were heard, and generations gathered to experience the power of the arts. Today's celebration is about more than reopening a beautiful theater. It's about renewal. It's about honoring our past while preparing for the future. This restored and reimagined Zeiterion will, once again, be a place for performance, yes, but also for learning, for collaboration, for creativity, and for community. Look at all the community that came out today, and for tomorrow, a sold-out performance. It's a space that welcomes artists and audiences, students and educators, nonprofits and businesses alike. Moments like this remind us why investing in culture matters. The arts don't just entertain us, they connect us, they challenge us, and they help us imagine what's possible. And it reminds me of a song. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and it's a new life. That sense of renewal, of possibility, is exactly what this moment represents, both for the Zeiterion Theater and for our city. So with that, on behalf of the City Council, I'd like to present this official resolution. Be it hereby known to all that the City Council of New Bedford, Massachusetts hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to the Zeiterion Performing Arts Center in recognition of your grand reopening and your enduring role as an educational and community cornerstone of the City of New Bedford. The entire citizenry extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued good fortune given the 16th day of January 2026 by the New Bedford City Council.
Okay. Oh, last but not least, I think, is our very own chair of our board and friend, Mr. Frank Almeida.
It is such an honor to be here today. I can't tell you the honor it is to be here today. I'm just so proud to be part of this team, and it's been such a privilege to be the chair of the Z board during this monumental milestone accomplishment. Tony, we did it. We did it. This team, this fabulous team, the Z board, and many of them are here in the third row. Raise your hands. Please raise your hands. Former board, I know there are a few here. Raise your hands. Thank you, both. Dan and P3, our project managers, fabulous. Wilson Butler, genius. Chris and Rebecca back there, genius. Colantonio, our general contractors, they're here. When we mentioned the folks that were involved in the renovation of this project, the people who know in the construction industry, they were stunned that we had such a fantastic team. And I couldn't agree with them more. Just a fabulous team. Our capital campaign committee, Deb, Joe, the chairs, the building committee, capital campaign committee members, raise your hands that are here. Thank you so much. Building committee, I'm chair of the building committee, but we had a it's out there. Subcontractors, you folks see the beautiful paint, the seats, we'll get to the seats, this place, but there are miles, literally miles of wires running through this building. Plumbing, HVAC, tile, the woodwork. Folks, when you tour this building, check out the woodwork. It's fabulous. It's just fabulous. I said plaster. Plaster and paint. Plaster and paint. Go to the light. There's a video with William, and I forget the plasterer's name. Watch the video about the plasterer and the painters. They're just amazing. And the staff, they're all up there. I see you, Chris. They're all up there. Staff here. Just fabulous. They have transformed this building and this organization. And we'll see that in the coming years. It's just something that we can all be so proud of. And we're so close. And John, I remember either a conversation with you or reading about paint, how at the opening day in 1982, the paint was barely dry. Well, they might have even been painting while this was going on. So everyone, just so you know, we're really close. But while you're touring, don't touch anything. $37 million. Not a problem. Not a problem. We haven't gone into debt while we've been building this wall. Thank you to Bristol County Savings, who's been a huge champion for us during this whole project. Again, Deb, Joe, Nicole, Molly, Anita. Is Anita here? Anita. The whole capital campaign committee. It's just been amazing. We promised that we'd do this, and we did it. We don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long it's been. It's been since I've been on the board, but we've actually done it. And I am so incredibly proud of this day, of this team, and of this organization. Now, the second page is you.
Oh, is that me?
No, it's about you.
Oh.
This woman, this could not have happened without you, and you know this. Everyone's heard all the accolades. But from working with our legislators, the city council, the long nights, longer weeks, calls, the texts, the emails, to even picking up trash in this auditorium 2 days ago. It's just been unbelievable, and this project could not have happened without you. And you know that. I am so proud. I wish I could say it's time to go home and rest, take care of Mike, but guess what? We got a show tomorrow. We got 2 shows tomorrow. So on behalf of the board, the staff, the Festival Theater staff, George, Armin he'd love this. He would just love this. The Symphony Orchestra, and the entire South Coast community, thank you.
Thank you. I'm very humbled This took a team, believe me. Okay, I think we have one more really special moment, a little surprise, and then please join us in the Deb and Ben Baker lobby for Deb and Ben Baker family lobby, or Baker family lobby. I'll get it down.
Remind the building committee to stay.
Oh, sure. Building committee, please stay. We've got something, Frank apparently wants to talk to you. Anyway, please join us for some refreshments, and as I mentioned earlier, please feel free to walk around the building. We have our wonderful ushers back. These volunteer ushers are back, and we're so happy to have them. Along with the ushers, our staff will be positioned in some of the rooms, and we hope you enjoy. So stay put for this little treat. Shane, come on up.
So I was honored to asked by Rosemary Gill to, I guess, christen this new space with a little song. As I shared in my remarks earlier, which I thought was going to segue into this, but it's a new dawn and it's a new day. So with that, birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for the Z, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in the peace when the day is done. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Hey, stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, for me. And I'm feeling good.
Okay, let's have some fun and party.
you.